everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Against All Odds. And as I say at the start of every episode, it's a purely selfish podcast because I like to talk to inspirational people. And today I'm so honoured to welcome to the stage Catherine Doyle. How are you, my lovely?
I'm good, thank you. How are you, Amy?
I'm good. I am loving your t-shirt, Delete the Drama.
No drama. No drama.
Oh, my lovely. Do you know what? I keep hearing things about you and how inspirational you are and the journey you've been through. So I always say to people, let's start from the beginning. Tell me what you're doing now and where the journey started for you.
Do you want where it all began?
Yes, please. Yeah.
Okay. So I can give you a little insight on my life. I was sexually abused from the age of 3, which had a detrimental impact on my mental health and my well-being, and made me lose sight of who I am as a person. I always thought there was something wrong with me. And then as I grew older and the abuse continued, I started seeking love that I wasn't getting from home. So I seek love. I was looking for love in all the wrong places, whether that be good people or bad people. It was someone, and at that time it happened to be the wrong people. Smoking weed from the age of 9, and then when I got to 15, it was I started smoking heroin and smoking crack too. I went on to work in the red light district when I was 15. Kidnapped, raped numerous times, tried to strangle me, but I come out of it, and here I am today. And we can get lost in, severe post-traumatic stress disorder, which is under control now with the cognitive behavioural therapy, and also doing mirror work to looking in the mirror and saying, you are where you are right now. You're no longer in that place. So I am ADHD and I have dual autism. So I come on the full range of the spectrum. People say you don't look autistic, and I say, well,
what does autism look like, right?
So describe yourself, Kathy. So I've got this in me left side of the brain. It's like a Rubik's cube that's got all these lovely colours, but none of them are matched together. They're just all scattered and mixed all over the place. So going through my journey and bringing back all the jigsaw pieces now, I'm able to align them.
Yeah.
And see where my thought process was back at that time. And now I'm able to process and function normal, just normally. Because I say normal, what is normal?
Exactly.
Everyone's norm is different. So we have, on the left side of our brain, we have this, I like to call it a data bank. So I see stuff during the day. My brain photocopies it and then stores it. And it's like I say to people, you can retrain your brain, and they're talking a load of nonsense. Now, take for instance, you listen to a song, you hear 3 words out, and you think, oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Automatically, amygdala start going, the brain starts connecting, and then the next time you hear it, you remember more and more and more until you know the whole song. That becomes processed and data stored, file complete, locked in my cabinet. And when you look into the mirror, it's about realizing who you are as a human being.
Yeah.
And if I ever have like low days where everyone does, I go through the same protocol of, are you safe? Yeah. I've got my amazing sons. I've got people who love me. I've got family. So sort of grounds me and closes my heart chakra and keeps me feeling safe again. And then to the side of why am I still here after years of trying to delete myself from the planet.
Yeah.
Which now in this amazing part of my brain, thank God I've got autism, I can then bring that back out and look through that and think, I've saved 3 people's lives with naloxone. I helped the homeless, helped the working girls on the streets. I helped my community. People come to me for, I just call it talking. They say you're like me, my own personal counsellor.
Yeah.
When they come
So
in, they
like now
feel,
you can give back from what you've been
yeah,
through,
and
and I think that's such a powerful thing.
yeah,
It really is.
do you know, people say you volunteer. I've been volunteering for 2 years. I volunteer. I get more out of it than anyone realizes.
Yeah.
I feel like, remember those teddy bears as years ago, and they were called glowworms, and you squeezed them and you lit up,
Yeah.
and it's like that inside, and it's like the amount of people I've reached out to during the day, and you know, by looking at someone, you can't see that what their deep internal thought processes, how they're feeling. So you start with a smile and, how are you? It's really
Yeah.
nice to meet you. My name's
That's
Kathy Doyle. So the homeless, when I first started, they looked at me and said, oh, you wouldn't have a clue how I'm feeling. And I've said, can I sit down? And they're like looking at me as if like, what's going on? Sit down, let me go into a little journey. And it's a story of my life. At the age of 15, I was sleeping rough on the streets. I know how it feels to have people look down on you and treat you like you're just something that they've just stepped in, and addiction and childhood trauma.
Yeah.
And by the time we finished speaking, I say to them, we're no different.
Yeah.
Situations are different, but we are no different. I have been where you are now. Never lose hope. And please don't delete yourself from this planet, because the planet needs more people like you,
Yeah. Yeah.
more amazing people. And you can go to university and you can learn all this stuff, but when you've lived it, that's something different. That's
So
I used to look back.
what kind of pulled you out of that? Can you remember the moment where you went, right, this life isn't for me and I want to change?
Yeah, I went on to methadone when I was 18.
Right.
My friend was murdered and
Right.
dumped. And we used to go to the red light, work in the red light district together. And I'd already had numerous escapes of being there. I didn't want that for me. I knew there was always something about me that was wanting to hang on and was wanting to make it, knowing that there's going to be a better day, and just sticking with that. And I went on methadone, and I was addicted to methadone from the age of 18 till I was 44. I'm 4 years in January of methadone. I can now see that repetitive role play of the ritual of taking it and believing it would make me better. Because do you know what? I
Yeah.
needed something to make me feel better, because I couldn't
Yeah.
fix me. I didn't know what was going on inside here. And because I've masked for so long, and it's, I'm very clever, you know, I could adapt to any situation and always come out to the end. So from going from the madness to the sort of peace and serenity I have now, as who I am as a person, and being kind to myself, is just like, it's mind blowing. Some days I think I'm
And do you know
dreaming.
what? I bet it was quite odd though, because it's a life you've not experienced, because you've had that abuse at a young age. To have the life that you had now, when you started living the life that you've got now, did it feel a bit odd because your brain only knew trauma and drugs and a life
I
that you deserve?
It's, you know, when a child's born into the world and it has to learn everything from scratch. I feel like I'm this child that's gone into adulthood and then been dropped and said, there you go, now find your way.
Yeah.
And my brain and my body saying, you're 47, and then realizing that everything that was learned in the past was wrong.
Yeah.
How do I adapt to my new situation and my new life, which was going right back to basics, and how other people treated me? Then looking in the mirror and saying and learning that I have got all these flags now that I can use for future reference and situations that happen. I have photographic memory, so I will get visions that come, and then it'll be, that's where you went wrong there, that time, and I can tell you the exact time, and then my brain's able to piece from that and then bridge over the gap that was once missing but in the past. So now, rather than my brain having all these spaces where it can't join and connect and work anything out, now there's little bridges of love that have like reconnected, and like, you've been on this journey for so long. If I come into that situation again, like now with helping people who are struggling with addiction, and still when I go out onto the streets, they're still using heroin and the crack in front of me. There's no, I don't get any triggers. I don't feel like, oh, that smells like my comfort place. And it's like I'm able to bridge over it now, and it always grounds me to see from where I was. It's actually being in a physical form to where I am today is mind blowing. And sometimes I can sit on my own and I don't even have to watch a film. I can replay stuff right through my journey. And I know it sounds mad. It should be a blockbuster. Definitely should be.
I love that.
If anyone's interested, it's just like you couldn't write it. You really couldn't write it. And if it was put out there, people's heads would be blown. I get people say it when they sit and listen to me about what the journey I've been through, and the mind's boggling. And like, how are you even here? How do you cope? All that matters is that I'm here.
Yeah.
And I show others that it doesn't matter where you are in life. You can, do you know what? Don't stop dreaming. You know, daydreaming when I was in a bad place and listening to certain artists like Eminem helped me enormously. Amy Winehouse, and listening to the words rather than the beat, and realise, you know what, it's not only me. It's not only me that's been badly damaged. And I should never have experienced any of those things I did when I was a child. But I can't change it. It happened. It was what it was while it was. But what I do take from that now is that I've got my own blueprint now.
Yeah.
I'm able to share it with others and just be there for others and say, do you know what? I'm here. I'm here to listen. But know that you're not alone, because the hundreds of people I've seen, each person has a story to tell. And out of every person, I take that, and that's what's happened to me. And that's resemble and resonate with people and having empathy for others.
You know what, I was about to say that it's like if you put anybody else in front of them that hadn't been homeless or had an addiction, they just wouldn't resonate. That people need to resonate with people.
Yeah.
To go, look, okay, this is possible. like, and people will warm to you, obviously, because you're doing really well with everything that you're doing. So that's why I think it's so powerful. But I do think it's you. I always put people like you on a pedestal, because if you can give back to people from an awful thing that you've been through, to ensure that other people either don't go through it or they know how to get through it, is a very powerful thing, because you don't have to do that, but you choose to. So I do honestly put people like you on a pedestal.
Yeah. Do you know,
Now,
I appreciate that, but
you won't see it because you're
um,
very humble. Trust me.
I just, you know, you can have this pedestal, right? And you can have your pedestal so high, and you can be all that. But I like to keep my pedestal very low to the ground and relive. I still relive, well, go and see the places where I used to be and used to live, and things that I used to experience, and it keeps me humble and gratitude. Great, I'm grateful, and that I'm still here, and I'll never, people can come have so all this money, right, and they all suddenly think better than anyone because they have more materialistic things. I could have billions in the bank, and I would still go out, and I'd still be on the streets of Liverpool, and I'd like meeting George and going to conferences and speaking up.
Yeah, I love that. Do you ever look back at your past and see yourself as a different person then?
Different
Is it like you're
person.
looking at a different Catherine?
Yeah, different. Same person when I look in the mirror.
Yeah.
I still remember that young girl.
Yeah.
But because of where I've been in my life, people can go through their lives and they'll have like 4 different characters that they'll play. And
Yeah.
it's not on purpose, but it's like they've lived 4 different lifetimes. And I've sat and processed everything, and it's like there's 26 different people I've had to be in my life.
Yeah.
26. So do I look that as a bad thing? Right? Devil on the shoulder, trying to put me down? Or do I look at that and go, wow, that's interesting. I'll put that on my right shoulder. And you know what, as I'm getting older and older and older, when I leave this world, I'm going to laugh and I'm going to smile and I'm going to joke. And I've got, I could be in a hospital bed at the age of 102. I'll never be bored because there'll still be the, Mary, remember that time, girl? Oh my God, remember you jumped off the roof and broke your ankle and still kept running, and oh, and there's and escape, and I've never been to prison, and that's another story. So that's like fucking Houdini, girl. Well, and then you got the other part of me that's like a comedian, that has everyone laughing. It's probably why I'm single. Like when men are around me, it's like they feel intimidated by me light, and because of where I've been in my past lives, I've become so much stronger.
Yeah,
And even
I was
though
about to say the strength. Yeah.
I'm only 5'4", but I'm talking men who are like,
Yeah.
and you can see them standing and they and the and I, oh my God! So I've got all that to look back on, and my kids and my achievements and branching out to people. It's like the tree of life, We can't help everybody because I am just one person. But I know by being this one person and being present, the more I grow and flourish, and my branches are reaching out and grabbing people. And when I leave this world, I've left a legacy of love,
Yeah.
a legacy of hope,
Mm-hmm.
and for future generations to see that the 5 stone 4 Kathy who had anorexia and then got well, and had bulimia and then got well, and then was told she was just depressed, and then, you know, medicated for years, and then psychotherapy, hypnotherapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, all these treatments, which, you know, has probably prolonged my life.
Yeah.
You know, along the, you know, it saved me. Every bit of counselling I've had, though it didn't work at that very present moment in time, because when we look at it in reality, you know, in hindsight, nothing works in that on the instant. You
No,
can't just say
yeah.
to someone and they go boom. It's so all these little stepping stones of all the treatments I've had, I've learned so much from. So
Yeah.
now I can use their knowledge, which is my life experience,
Mm-hmm.
and how that's worked for me, and to rejoin all, you know, rejoin everything,
Yeah,
which
that's
helped me.
amazing. I was about to say, because it's like a double-edged sword, isn't it? Because you've got to not only cure your addiction, but you had to change your mindset as well. Like, both of them apart are very, you know, they're not the easiest things to do, and they're not the quickest things to do. So did you kind of stop the drugs first and then work on your mindset, or was it the mindset first that changed and then?
I stopped the drugs and went on to the methadone, which was the synthetic opiates, and then lockdown came. My nan's anniversary when she passed was the 10th of January.
Right.
So I had to go. It wasn't even written down, it was photographed in my mind, a photograph in my mind of these different goals. And where I'm used to seeing clouds and then thoughts, there was no little bridges in them.
Mm-hmm.
So then it was pre-contemplation, not even thinking about it. Contemplation, maybe there's, maybe I do need to change. And
Yeah.
then drawing what I'd like to achieve, made it visual.
Visual, yeah.
And then once I started doing that on a regular basis, and the mirror work together, sometimes I feel a bit like a robot, like I've refunctioned my whole, rebooted my whole system, and
Yeah,
all
yeah,
this
yeah.
wire, you know, all these tangled wires over the years where they've been all interlinked but not connecting in the right places.
Yeah, yeah.
I've picked everything apart from the seam, gone back to basics. So now, rather than at one point where it was just all that side, the left side, trying to think, I want to do this, how do I do it? The right side's working with it now. I feel
Yeah.
more balanced.
I love that
Um,
you made it visual though, because that's a big thing for the brain. A lot of people act more on like visual, what they can see.
yeah,
So I love that. Do you still do that, by the way? Like,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
every day. So people aspire to have like a lot of money, and I understand, like, so you can go on a holiday and make memories and enjoy things. Mine's never been materialistic, so with the meditation now, and I listen to green noise
yeah, yeah,
frequency. So, and then when I'm listening to green noise of the night, I imagine myself at this. Some people would want a big house and big. I just want a big house. A bigger house just means because I can store more shit, because I'm terrible at cluttering. So my head's going, nah, you don't want that, Cathy. And then the bigger the house, you got to dust. And I was OCD once, and now I'm not OCD. There's got to be a middle, which is I will clean it and I will dust it, but it might be a week. I might, you
yeah,
know what, equilibrium. I'm okay with that. I just, it's learning everything the way I always wanted it to be, and the way it should have been is now.
yeah,
I
yeah,
wanted it back then, But because the trauma and the situations that were always going around and abuse from other people, there was no way out of that. And
Yeah.
then coming off the heroin, and then when I come off the methadone, it was like I've been put, like, inside my brain. It's like I've been put in this whole new fairground. No other kids, no other people, nothing. Looking at everything new. So I can take myself up to the park now. I'll go on the kids' apparatus. I'm doing stuff now that I should have been doing back then. So enjoying my childhood, but realizing at the same time I'm a 47-year-old woman, experiencing everything, and the childhood I should have had at that age, I'm now getting now, but I'm getting to be a child and be an adult. Oh, this is
Yeah.
fun. So
Yeah.
it's like, so people be talking, and because the way the ADHD brain works, and like I've got something to say, and then my brain's going, say it, just in case you forget it, and they really need to hear this, and it can be in the midst of any conversation, and I'm having to bite my tongue and learn how to control myself, calm myself down, looking in the mirror, because I missed out on the girly stuff and looking in the mirror and
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
makeup. I didn't know who this was. I forgot
Yeah.
what this looked like. I had no mirrors. What would I want to look
Yeah.
at me? What would I want to look at me for? And so then now doing the mirror work and looking in that mirror and accepting everything for that I am. I am who I
Absolutely.
am.
Do you know what though? I I've always wanted to ask this question. I feel like you're being very open, right? So I'm going to ask it. You know, when you are abused as a child, like you said earlier, you grow, you learn from a very young age how to like interact with the world. As you grow older with being an abused child, how do you must struggle with dealing with other people because you've been shown that's your like normality, and then the outside world, thankfully, it's, even though abuse is quite common, but it's not that common, it's not everywhere. So how
Hmm.
did you learn to interact with people? Because trust must have been a massive thing for you, mate.
Trust is and still is a huge thing for me.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, Monkey see, monkey do, and that trauma to me at a young age traumatized me.
yeah,
But what it also installed in my mind was this behavior is acceptable. This is
yeah,
what
that,
happens as you are growing up. So
mm,
every person I come into contact with in my life, I even at a very young age, I drew myself up on against people. The
yeah,
signs were there that, and the poking other people in the private, me trying to let people know, oh, look, I'm an adult. This is what this I do this as well. I was trying to let
yeah,
people know. Um, so now I'm so attuned with people's behaviour and body language, and when people say, "Oh, I'm only joking," and they'll do something,
yeah,
instantly, I know. Whoa, there's the red flag.
yeah,
If what you get out of people, what they portray and who they are two totally different people. So I've been single for 4 years now, and people say, "Why don't you meet someone? And you're amazing. You've got amazing mum. You've got so much to give." Do you know what? Yeah, I have. Do you know who
mm,
I choose to give that to? Me.
yeah, yeah,
I learned from a young age that people hate you.
yeah,
Expect this to happen from people because this is what they do. So when anyone is being nice to me, I've ruined it anyway because
yeah,
I've then monkey see, monkey do, imitating my behaviour towards them to try and test them to see whether they're going to be an abuser like the rest of them.
Yeah.
And that's destroyed relationships in the past.
Yeah, yeah. I could see why
And
that happens though, because to you, abuse is normal. So if you've got somebody nice heading your way, that's abnormal. So your brain's going to try and find something familiar, isn't it?
well, it's like, even when you were being nice, what are you after? What's this going to lead to? What are you going to do to me?
Mm,
And then it's sort of, I draw back then, and they can be the nicest person in the world. They really could have any, but
yeah,
because of where I'd been, my brain, my brain was, the cognitive thinking and the patterns in the brain were smashed
yeah,
into
yeah,
billions of different pieces, and I've sifted through everything from my mind to rejoin. Like, I know what, when people are being nice and being kind, and to take it as a compliment.
yeah,
I struggle with people saying, like when I was like ITV News, and I had at the beach to get away from people, and I was on New Brighton, and I was sitting on the wall, and my friend, he's 70, he was sitting next to me, just listening to the ocean, quiet solitude, and it was people coming up. Oh, I think you're amazing. You're that woman off the telly. I'm so happy that you're still alive, and so inspiring to them being. But then realizing that it's nice that they're doing that, and it's nice that you can see that people can be in a dark place and
yeah,
still make it. I'm still getting used to the. I seem very confident, and I probably am. I wouldn't call it confidence. It's just that I fearless now. I'm
yeah,
just. I know everything for exactly what it is, and I don't have taken any BS off people. And if I've got something to say now, I was silent for all those years. So if I've got something to say, and I've lived it, and it's truth because I know it's truth because it was me, I will
yeah,
say it, and I let people know that I can be very blunt, but please know it comes from a good heart, and
yeah.
it comes from the right place.
Do you know what that I was just about to say? Is like you've been through all of that, which was absolutely horrific. So in your head, do you think, right, I've been through that, so I can get through anything now?
Oh yeah,
Because
yeah.
there's nothing, there can't be any worse, and you've come through it. So that must give you a little bit of confidence that that you're very capable of.
Well,
A lot of people can come through it.
like a bit about my story as well. I've got an 8-year-old, a 22-year-old son,
Yeah,
and when I was 15, I tried heroin, and back in the day, it was LSD. It was just trying to use something to stop all the traffic in here. That worked for a while.
yeah.
Then then tried alcohol. Nah, that just when I had alcohol, and your feelings come out. That was the thing I was trying to get away from. So the
The
alcoholism,
suppressing, yeah, 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 yeah.
heroin was like holy grail coming over me. Of like, that was the one thing that actually silenced everything in my head. I could
Right.
finally sleep. Um, because before that, I'd go to bed and it'd feel like the walls are closing in on me, the ceiling was coming down, and then I was having I could hear noises from the little cupboard in my room, and it was like someone was knocking. And every night, I'd see the handle going on the door, and it was open,
Mm,
and I knew someone was in there. But when I'd looked in there, there was no one there. And then I had the other vision. There was an old man standing top of the stairs and kept saying, "I was buried in this."
Mm.
And he had a dark blue suit on, and he had lovely black hair, long face like me, and you'll realise who it is in a minute. And he was on this record, and every night before he disappeared, it was "Tell Laura I love her." I'm thinking, who's this man? So anyway, I go through my journey and I'm off the methadone. I'm talking to my mum, and I told her about who I saw as a child in the back bedroom. And I said, he was a lovely man. I said, very tall, really dark black hair. He had it back and it was quite thick and wavy. I said, but he kept going on about his records and "Tell Laura I love her." And my mum's face froze.
Right.
And I said, what's wrong? It was my mum's brother. He passed away. He had a brain
Wow.
hemorrhage when he was 27. And they put him in a dark blue suit.
Mm.
And just before he passed away, he'd ordered this vinyl that he wanted to play to Linda, his wife, who he's got the 3 daughters to. So when he was buried, he had it in his hands like this, holding it.
Mm.
It was
Yeah.
just,
You've been on an incredible journey, my lovely. Absolutely incredible. So tell me about when you met with George. How did you get involved with George?
so I'd come off the methadone. I wanted to, because I'd find the key to myself.
Yeah.
I wanted to use my keys to try and unlock potential in others and help them through their journey. And it was someone with you and said, put your name down for this. The naloxone, his name's George Charn, he's a lovely fella. I think you'd really enjoy this. So close to meet George, and I was very nervous. When I get nervous, I'll just waffle on about stuff that doesn't really matter, and that's when you know I'm nervous. And he spoke to me and a few others about the naloxone and how it helps save lives, and I'd like to train you up. So I goes, and he was there for a few days, and from meeting him, and we connected instantly, and it was like when two souls, recognize each other, and we resemble each other. He's the male version of me, I'm the female version of him, as he says. So then teaching me how to teach other, teaching me how to then learn others and share knowledge about naloxone. And I was just like, wow, considering where I've been in my life, and
Yeah.
I've overdosed a few times on heroin, and it was just like, this is a no-brainer and can help save more lives. And George got us out onto the streets, which for me, I was running away from being around too many people because of what people had done to me in the past.
Yeah.
So then going up to people and speaking to them and have a few moments of your time. And a lot of people were like, I don't take drugs. And I was like, I understand that. Have you got a nan who's on pain relief? Yeah, she's only on cocodamol. So then giving them knowledge about the cocodamol is
Yeah.
is an opiate. It's a synthetic opiate.
Yeah.
Which is exact, the DNA of it is the same as a heroin, opium.
Yeah.
And I got loads out into the public, and then went out with the homeless and made sure they all had kits, and spent time
Yeah.
just speaking to them and getting to know them all, and walked through the town centre today, and they all know me. There's
Yeah.
Caddy. So my mate just been made homeless. He's got a heroin addiction, but he's got no fixed abode, but he wants help.
Yeah.
So go to with you. We
Yeah.
can get you put on a prescription, and start getting you moving forward, and you know, so they learn more about themselves and where would they like to see themselves in 12 months from now. Because people have this ideology of like, you stop taking drugs and you're fixed.
Yeah. I think it
Not,
goes much deeper than that. Yeah.
yeah, the brain work that has to go into it. And I never knew who Kathy Doyle was.
Yeah.
I've only I've only started getting to know Kathy Doyle, who I am today. It'll be 4 years in January. So everything is like brand new to me.
Yeah.
But I know that I've learned, because of what I've learned in the past, and gained so much knowledge and being around other people. And I'm hyper alert, just hyper awareness all the time. Spatial awareness of what's around me, who's around me, sounds that are going off. It's all programmed there now. So
Yeah. Yeah.
my eldest son gets a bit annoyed because we can walk past people and then I'll pick up on their body language, and then as I'm walking away I can hear some of the conversation that's going on. So if Stephen stops, I'm like, no, we need to keep moving now. And he's like, what? Because something's going to kick off there.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
oh, you think you know everything. And then 5 minutes later, I've heard it's all kicked off. So it's useful skills to have. It just took me, I've had to go through some fucking shit to get them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But nothing
But
great
do you
in life
wake?
comes
Yeah.
like that.
But I can. I mean, obviously, I can't put myself at all in your position, but that you've been through. But do you wake up now excited about life? Because I can imagine when you used to wake up, it was just another day of shit, and now is it exciting like this?
It's
That
yeah, I get up and
yeah,
it's, what's today gonna bring? Because today's a mystery. Today is history, tomorrow's a mystery.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
it's the present that is a gift. So open a new day like you're opening a gift at Christmas.
yeah,
Wonder what I can do today. Like today, even though my ADHD and my autism wants to be hyper all the time, and I'm enjoying the slowing down now, and I enjoy just lying on the couch. I could have 7, 8 hours sleep of a night, but if I feel like on that day, do you know what? I'm not going to do much today. I'm so busy all the time. So do you know what? I'm going to give me a bit of me back, and a bit of time to myself. And I've got my little boy, as I say, he's 8, he's ADHD and ASD. Um, he's a twin, my little boy. I had a little boy and a little girl. Um, I had them at 28 weeks, 5 days. So when they were
right,
born, Mia was £2.3, Jack was £2.4, and they were so tiny. And when they got to about 2 days old, I noticed that Mia wasn't doing as well as Jack. Um, so the hospital had said because Mia's veins were so tiny, they needed to send her to Alderhay to get a Broviac fitted to give her the
mm-hmm.
medication. That never come because they were always understaffed. And then when they had the staff, they just didn't have the transport. So it was like uh, just going back and forward between each other.
Yeah, yeah,
And so the doctor at the hospital decided to do the procedure. He punctured Mia's liver, the back of her liver twice. Um, and she passed away 6.5 days old. Um, Put on life, walked in and she was being given the resuscitation. Ran a life support machine, and I wanted to know, has she got a
mm,
chance? And if so, how much of a chance has she got? And they said 2%.
Right.
The lack of oxygen to the brain would have had detrimental impact on. She would have been basically, she wouldn't have been able to do anything for
Yeah.
herself.
Mm.
And I chose to switch the life support machine off.
Mm.
Considering where I've been in my life, all that was nothing compared to me little, what had happened to my little girl. But did I want to survive, to be in a wheelchair all life, tube fed, probably on machinery all the time, and for her to then watch her little brother, twin brother, running around and doing everything that she should be doing? Not at all. Not at all. So a few months back, I went to meet the doctor who did the procedure and the matron. And I said to him that I don't want him carrying it for the rest of his life. I hope he doesn't hold onto any pain from what has happened, because as human beings, we don't get everything right all the time. And he did something to try and save her when other people couldn't. And you can't ask for any more from a human being. And I said to him, I forgive you, but there's nothing really to forgive. At least you tried. And he got tearful, and I just said, if I could change one thing, I'd change a couple of things. It would be, when babies are born, pictures are taken straight away, because we do not know what's going to happen, if they're going to make it. I never got a picture of my twins together. I'd like to see them moving forward as a hospital, for that to be in place now.
Yeah.
And coming up, I've got volunteering with the Liverpool Women's Hospital, where my eldest son was born. So
yeah.
I wasn't treated very nice because I was on a script when I had twins, and I want that stigma to go.
Yeah.
I want our mothers to be treated just the way another person with no addiction would be treated. That person could have no addiction, but could be suffering with mental health. You'd help them. I want them to support our mothers, and it doesn't matter where they are on the journey. The mums who have just had kids. So, you know what? Just be kind.
Yeah.
You can't.
Absolutely. Just have a bit of compassion.
Yeah. No one could have punished me more than what I punished myself for when Mia passed away. So, as mothers, sometimes we'll have a cry and we'll fall apart, and then we pick ourselves back up, and it's about doing that for all mothers. It's about, if people were just nicer and delete all the drama that they continually hold in their brain. I don't like him because you know what he did to me in school? Come on, mate, that's 20 years ago.
Oh yeah, your people hang on to things years ago, mate, and carry it around just like absolutely unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. So if anybody is listening to this that is in a situation that you've been in, and homeless or addiction or anything like that, and you could say one thing to them to start them on a journey of serenity, let's say, what would it be?
Talk. Because take it from someone who knows, I'm going to cry. Take it from someone who knows that I thought I can fix me. I didn't tell anyone. Like when I was going through domestic violence during lockdown, I was going through menopause, coming off methadone, and there was domestic violence So I sort of was whacked with everything. And you know, the best thing I did was just say to someone, I'm not coping. And you know when I done that, I felt a lift of this weight off my shoulders. And you know what I started it was we get built up about how we're going to address people and to let, because with me, I don't want people to feel my pain. I don't want someone listening to my story and then crying, and I don't want that, you know. So I spoke out, but the first person I spoke to, the person who was there for me all the time, was in the mirror. I'm starting with the woman in the mirror. Like Michael Jackson said, I'm asking her to change her ways. And I got used to speaking to myself in the mirror so that when I was in front of someone, then it would just come out.
Mm.
And just to get used to that, seeing someone in front of you, even though it's you can see the physical being of the outside of the person and saying it. So what I did, I said, I'm not coping. I phoned the police because domestic violence and sexual violence that was going on at home, I need him gone. Because I'd been planning it for 3 years anyway. When we separated, the separation had started taking place, because I'd come out of addiction and I'd seen all these red flags, and it was in the man I thought I loved. It was him doing the same as what those men did before, and women as well, not just men. I didn't want that anymore. This was my time to wipe the slate clean, and do you know what? Stop the bullshit. People have hurt me for enough. This is about getting me right. I spoke, and you know, once I started talking and just asking for help, I'm not gonna lie, it's not easy, because once I started speaking, the following day, I'd have a day to myself where I felt overwhelmed, because I wasn't used to doing that. I wasn't used to asking anybody for help, absolutely no one, because why would I have asked for help when all I was getting was abuse and trauma? So I learned from asking for help brings more shit, brings more people using me, more people, you know. But I come away from that and getting rid of him, the police coming to take him from my home as a start. Then I did the freedom program with domestic violence on women. I had all this knowledge inside me, but when I heard it from other women, I was standing, my brain standing there going, yes, with this red flag. Yes, yes. Not just me. Kathy, you're not alone. Planting that seed, keeping it in there. And it was just like the pattern of, why are you wearing that? Or why are you smiling at him? Or being watched out the blinds when you're speaking to two female neighbours, to them being told when you come in that, why was you laughing that? That was a dirty laugh. Who was the fella there? Had me second guessing myself whether was the fella there, when I knew he wasn't. And all the mind games and to and froing of, you did this and you did that. Evil thinkers, evil doers. What people portray out onto others is a reflection of how they're feeling inside. So
absolutely. Absolutely, my lovely.
People to just talk. It's so, we move our arms freely, and it's something that is so simple, but when it comes to deep thoughts and you're not having the courage to, or the confidence to speak, there's no connection, so it's not coming out. It's all in there, it wants to come out. Just talk.
That's amazing. Right, I've got a question for you that I ask everybody, and everybody struggles with it.
Go on.
Catherine, tell me 3 good things about yourself.
3 good things. I'm passionate, I'm loyal, and I describe myself as a sunshine bit of the Care Bears.
Do you know what? I love that. You just answered that so easily. Do you know how many people struggle with that question? I love
I've
that.
got, for more about me, if you've got a problem, you're well solved. Check out my name, as my DJ revolves.
I love that.
For everything I've been through in life, if people are struggling with the question that they're asking themselves over and over, just ask us.
Yeah.
And you'll find that most of the time, you know the answer inside.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's got that connection of someone else saying it. So
Yeah,
then
so
your
it's that
brain goes,
confirmation, isn't it? Yeah.
yeah, it is. It is.
Absolutely. My lovely, you've been an amazing guest, and thank you for being so open. And
Oh, you're welcome.
I love the work that you do right now. I think it's so important for people to get help. I do believe that society massively lets people that are struggling with homelessness and addiction, I think society lets them down massively. So keep on doing what you're doing, my lovely.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for inviting me on. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, thank you. You've
Thank
been an
you. I
absolute
feel
star.
so honoured to join you. Thank you.
Oh, bless you. Take care, my lovely.
Oh, and you too.